You're just out in the desert watching the sun go down. All those problems just kind of seem to go away. Don't mess with my plant. Hey, Apollo, don't mess with my plant. And my van would not stop. My brake went all the way to the floor. It literally was like a runaway train coming off the highway. So I decided to come out to some of my favorite hot springs. Honestly, it's just a bunch of geothermal pools, but they've diverted the water source from a couple of those to some bathtubs that are just out in the desert. It's my go-to when I'm just wanting like a little bit of solitude and peace and quiet. It might be a little bit windy, but I don't even mind. It's bringing the cool weather in. It's gonna be so nice to sit in those tubs out in the desert tonight and just watch the sun go down. Meanwhile, the clouds are just popping off here. Like, they are gorgeous. You can see rain across on the far other side. I hooked up my little battery hub charger. I have it all plugged into my solar panels to try to catch the last little bit of sunshine so I can get up to 100%. That way I have it for tonight. I'm gonna charge all my equipment on that. All right, let's check this. Yay, we're at 100%. Great, can unplug this. Are you not sure because of the wind? You can come on out, but is the wind gonna make you run? You just can't run, okay? You can come on out, come on. Good boy. Yes, what a good boy. Having a good time just being outdoors. Isn't it a nice day? You know me, my new stuff does not stay new for long. I think it has a spot. But we did it. So I'm gonna go get changed, grab all my stuff, and let's go walk over. All right, Apollo, I'll be back. It's a little bit of a walk, but not far. They're just right over here. And I love how they built them down in the ground, so it feels like you're just sitting in the ground, even though you're in little tubs of water. There is a cow over there just working his way through the water. There's actually a lot of pools out here. Like, this area has a ton of geothermal pools, but this right here is really the only spot that's good for actually bathing. Everywhere else, you don't want to get into the water. You'll disturb everything. And some of the pools are extremely hot. So these are temperature controlled, and you're not going to disturb the natural habitat. But then when you just come sit out in some minerals that are just soaking in your skin, and you're just out in the desert watching the sun go down, all those problems just kind of seem to go away. There are so many hot springs in Nevada and California, in several states. I've done some in New Mexico, Colorado. Surprisingly, I haven't done any in Idaho yet. But it's just amazing how many there are. And I think sometimes if you just take the time to look up some things around you, you'd be surprised at what there actually is. I always feel like a new person when I get out of the hot springs. Like, it is so invigorating. I just feel alive afterwards, and I'm like, oh, it feels so good. Well, hi. I made it back. Oh my gosh. There's stuff from the hot springs all over. My mom made me zucchini lasagna. And I know it looks gross right now, but it tastes so good. Like, it's gonna be so good. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on a movie for me and Apollo to snuggle up and watch while I have some dinner. And then I wanna get an early night's rest because I wanna be in the springs first thing in the morning with sunrise. So have a good night.
Say congratulations, and to be careful now that he's old enough to be tried as an adult.
Actually, I was hoping maybe you could come to the party and tell him yourself.
I'm not going to.
The sun is just getting ready to come up. It's really windy though. Like, my van is not shaking, but I can definitely hear a lot of wind. Good morning. Don't eat the plant. Hey, don't eat the plant. Don't give me that look. It will make you sick. You don't know what you're doing. Don't mess with my plant. Hey, Apollo, don't mess with my plant. No, I want this one to survive. And I don't want you yakking in the middle of the night. Hey, don't. I had to pull over off the side of the highway, you guys. My brakes just literally went to the floor. Luckily it was a flat area and there's nobody in front of me, but I was trying to pull over to make my lunch and my van would not stop. My brake went all the way to the floor. I tried pumping, I couldn't pump. I just slowly came to a stop. I had my hand on the e-brake just in case, but I'm gonna look down under, just make sure I don't see any leaks or anything. Like, I don't see anything leaking. I just read that, like, it could be a brake fluid leak, or like your line could have cracked or be broken. So I'm looking to see if there's any leaks in here. I'm gonna pop my hood, see if there's anything that I can see going on right now. Oh my gosh, it's so dusty in here. Okay, looking, don't even know 100% what I'm looking for, but I'm looking to see if anything has wet, cracked, leaking looking. I didn't see any fluid on the ground outside, and I pulled over. Like, luckily I'm in Nevada and it's very dusty, so you can actually see if anything is leaking. I don't see anything. I'm gonna have to bring my van in right away and get it looked at. I have never ever had my brakes give out like that. The more I pumped and stuff that last time, like, it was nothing. It just rolled to a stop. It was like it wanted to, but it wasn't catching. Then when it went all the way to the floor, like, it just wouldn't stop at all. Like, I can feel it now. Like, now it's catching. Now it's catching. This upper leg was like hitting this up here because I was so far and I was just trying to stop. That was scary. That was really, really scary. I'm gonna just have to make some calls and try to get it looked at right away. And please don't be like, why didn't you have your camera on when that was going on? Well, you know, reality is most content creators do not have their cameras on 24/7. And especially when you're in the middle of a crisis situation, the very last thing on my mind is like, oh, hold on, my brakes gave out. Let me grab my camera and video this. No, I'm grabbing my e-brake. I am making sure there's not a semi truck behind me gonna plow into me. So I brought it into Pep Boys. They did a thorough assessment. He's like, everything's dry. So there's no leaks going on. It's not your booster because, like, it's not hard for you to push. The hydraulic control unit actually needs to be replaced. So what I need to do to get by until I can get there is I have to pump my brakes 5 times before I turn my van on, and then I have to pump them 5 more times until I start driving. And I can already tell a huge difference. So before my brake felt like spongy, like it was kind of hard to like mushy feeling. But I'm obviously going to be safe. I'm obviously going to make sure that it's drivable. If I pump and I turn on my car and I'm like, no, it's still spongy, I'm not going to drive it. I call this my little runaway van because it literally was like a runaway train coming off the highway. And I'm going to head over to drop off the vehicle. I found a good local auto body shop. Brake pedal went completely to the floor, all the way back, no resistance whatsoever. And then the second dealership I talked to, it made it sound like I didn't know what I was talking about, first of all, which was kind of frustrating. And then when I mentioned to them what Pep Boys had said after I brought it in, they're like, well, those guys are not professionals and they really aren't equipped to like tell you that kind of stuff. And I'm like, well, obviously first brought it there because I thought I had a brake line leak or, you know, like my fluid was low or something. And then when they said there's obviously something a lot more going on, that's why I'm calling Dodge, because this is a Dodge vehicle. Dodge was so unhelpful. I've been doing what was recommended in the meantime. I'm pumping my brakes 5 times before starting my vehicle and then 5 times after starting it. I feel that resistance where before I didn't. It was like very mushy feeling. Say a prayer. I really want to know what's going on, and I'm really hoping that it's not crazy expensive to get it repaired because I'm not under warranty anymore now that I'm at 50,000 miles. I am actually going to a local place here in Nevada that my dad has brought his vehicle to and has had some work on, because I feel like I'll be in a lot better hands, and I don't feel like I'm gonna get the runaround right now, which I was kind of feeling from the 2 dealerships that I talked to. So I dropped my van off at the auto body shop. They called me back later that afternoon to let me know that luckily the technician was able to like duplicate the problem. He drove it for a while and it finally started acting up for them. He said it was bleeding out quite a bit. My understanding of what bleeding out means, in the brake is like a hydraulic, and it helps you pump so you can feel that resistance. Kind of what I was talking about is like mushy, like I didn't have the same resistance. Well, when your hydraulics aren't working correctly, it's called what's bleeding out. It's like not catching and it's just pushing it out instead of catching. They said that my ABS module needs replaced. And so for them to do that with the labor and the install and everything, it's $1,000 for a used part. That includes a 12-month warranty or 12,000 miles, which obviously I'll put 12,000 miles on first. Or for a new unit from the dealership, it's $2,700, and that's a 2-year warranty or 24,000 miles. I opted with the used one because $2,700 seems outrageous, like that a dealer can mark up their prices that much is crazy to me.
Frank's Automotive, this is Miranda.
Hi, Miranda. This is Beth Atencio with the Dodge ProMaster van. Hi, I just had a quick question. The ABS module system, do you know, does this one include the hydraulic control unit? Because I know some of them do include that, but I didn't know if this one is just the electronic module or if it includes the hydraulic control unit as well.
Yeah, it's the whole unit.
The whole thing? Okay, good. Awesome. All right. Great. All right, well then I'll just plan on not having it this weekend and having it next week. Thank you guys so much for your help with it.
Okay.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
You too.
She said it includes it, so I'm very thankful for that. That's what I was hoping for. There is not a recall on the 2021 ProMaster 2500s for that, but there should be, because that's actually extremely dangerous. There was no indicator, no lights, no warning. It just was out of the blue. Don't ever want to have that happen again. That was the scariest thing, to be on the road on a highway of all things and lose control of your vehicle like that. My van is done. I get to pick up Birdie. I'm so excited. Yay. Get to pick you up. You look so beautiful. Oh my gosh, I missed you so much. I missed you so much. Thank you, Frank's Automotive, for fixing my van. Look how beautiful she looks inside. Look how beautiful. Oh my gosh, I missed you so much. Oh my gosh, I missed you. Thank you, Frank's. Frank's Auto Body totally hooked me up because they didn't have to reprogram, like do any programming once they put the new part in. They quoted me at $1,000, but the total with tax and labor actually came to $692, so I am so grateful for that. Because guys, this is just real van life. I mean, you can be sitting in a hot springs one day and then your brakes can go out on the highway going 75 miles an hour. And then for the next week and a half, your van is out of commission while it's getting repaired. That's just reality of life. So on this channel, you're gonna see that, the real stuff that happens on the road. And if you haven't subscribed, click that button now. Me and Apollo just want to say a huge thank you, especially to Frank's Auto Body for taking care of our van Birdie. It is so good to be back on the road. I cannot wait to share our next adventure with you. Until then, we'll see you next Thursday.